I had made films before, but they didn't know me when I made my first Western because I had left Italy and I worked for 3 years in Germany. So when I came back and when this film was made, at the end, they gave me a list of well, 20 names and said, in 24 hours you have to choose a name because we have to come out. Oh, like it always happens, things at the last minute. So I went to this list and I said, oh, I like this name and take this one. And that's how it happened, and through a simple list. And I was lucky in a way because I had put in contracts that the next movie I'm going to make, because I will go back to my original name. But the movie at that time was a success worldwide, and the distributors came praying to me, please, 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 let's forget this clause in the contract and stay with Terence Hill. Enzo Barboni, compared to other directors I worked with, like Leone, Visconti, Lizzani, and Pontecorvo, and so on, De Sica, compares to me like a glass of fresh water. Because he came with this movie and it was totally simple. His way of shooting was totally simple. And he reached that simplicity that each artist wants to reach. A musician wants to be simple and so forth, naturally. He didn't have to go to it through working a lot on it or through an intellectual process, let's say. He did it naturally, and we did it naturally. So I think that was a great time, a great director for those movies, and we enjoyed it very much. When we were making the Call Me Trinity, we were absolutely not aware that we were making something special. As a matter of fact, we were nervous about it because it was a script in a film that nobody wanted to make. And the director, writer, who it was his first time as a director, he was actually a director of photography, had written the script and would go around all the productions in Rome asking to make this film. And they would just open the script and say, what is all this dialogue? No action, no people killed, and they all passed. So we came from having made 3 movies where the director, Giuseppe Colizzi, started putting a little bit of humor in it. And they were called God Forgives, I Don't, Ace High with Eli Wallach and us, and Boot Hill with Brock Peters. So and we were looking for a property, and we had people write 2 or 3 scripts that were all pretty bad. So when they came to us with this script, we were very nervous about it because nobody wanted to make them. But we liked the characters, and we thought that this was a step we could take because we had already put the seeds to make this step. But we were absolutely unaware that it would be, nervous, unaware that it would be received so well. I think Trinity was not influenced by Commedia all'Italiana. I think that Trinity were influenced by the early American movies because Clutcher had a passion for Buster Keaton, for Stan Laurel and Lauren Hardy, and the comedy actually came out of a gesture or behavior, and in fact, a behavior and gesture that reaches everybody. In fact, the Trinities were able to reach everybody, unlike Italian comedy that was regional and mostly stayed and didn't go abroad. Well, Bastenza and myself were associated with Laurel and Hardy. I can only be thrilled and happy about it because I loved Laurel and Hardy, and I still love them, and it's a compliment. It's absolutely a compliment. The fact that the Trinity films were received very well did change my life. And I had, as I said before, an obligation to choose a certain kind of films for everybody because of those two movies. And it gave me the freedom to say no to movies that were, because at that time I moved to America and I had a lot of offers of a typical American action movie, and I had and I couldn't make them because I decided not to make them. And it changed my life that I moved to another country. But sometimes I thought, am I making a mistake to refuse to make, these were actually good movies, because after My Name Is Nobody came out, I really received a lot of offers from good directors and good scripts. But now today, I'm very happy I chose not to make those American action movies.
Why is that?
Well, because I think there's too much violence in it, and most of them, they say they want to show that violence is bad by making more violence, and I don't understand that concept, because I believe that the movie has a message or reaches you as a spectator through the emotions. It's not rational. So when you come out, you don't say, oh, there was a lot of violence, that's way, violence is bad. You are influenced by it. You are totally taken by it, and you stay with it, and probably you are less susceptible to more violence because you're getting used to it. And I think all those saying, people, even good directors saying, as I said, I make a very violent movie because it's against war, it's against violence. Well, I don't agree, because it's not a book. It's not a historical chapter. It's a movie. It's a message. It's an emotional message that reaches you deep inside, your subconscious. So that's why. I didn't find me typecast at all, but I did typecast myself on my own will, because up until then I had done all kinds of movies, dramatic movies, but after the two Trinities movie, they would stop me, especially mothers in the street, more than once, and said, please, 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 keep doing movies like these, because we want to be able to take our kids to the theaters without expecting anything that they couldn't see or couldn't watch. So this gave me the responsibility of keeping on doing movies that were for all audiences. So in that sense, I typecasted myself.